Hello. Do you ever look at your pile of art papers and wonder, now what do I do with them? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn those papers, collages, all those mark making that you've done into a beautiful concertina book. And we're just going to focus on one side today, but we're going to choose papers and arrange them and do it with flow and rhythm and let your process speak and lead the way for you. And in this second video, I will explore the other side and do things a little bit differently. I'm Lynette, artist, educator, and creative empowerment coach. And if you are just getting started or feeling a little bit stuck and need a little bit of a spark, I have a free self-paced workshop called Spark Your Abstract Voice. Check out the link below. It's designed to help you reconnect with your creative flow. And now, let's build your concertina book. So I'm going to make a concertina book, 8 panels folded, and I'm going to use some papers that I already have, and I'm going to start putting them down on there, just layering some background pages and see what they look like, just light colored ones. I may use this as well. So they all have fairly neutral tones to it, and I'm going to use that as a background and then come back and we're going to add to it. So I'm going to do that onto here. And I'm just continuing on with putting some layers on the bottom. Oops. So this is the start to it, and what I want to do is have this one start more light, and then this one is going to start black. And then I'm just going to keep adding to it and seeing what works and what doesn't work. I've left some black open. I've put some pieces down, ripped pieces down that I like. And now it's just going to be building up and seeing what I like and what I don't like. So what I'm going to be looking at this is what the pieces look like as a whole, and also what they will look like in just their own panels and also their own spreads. So this may change quite a bit. This side I'm going to have the black, and then this is going to start with the light. And I'm just going to be adding things. I'm not too worried about the perfection, like these little things. I'll glue them down afterwards. I'm just going to start working on things and seeing what I like to add. Now, what do I think about this? It's dynamic. It adds, if it was here, how would it look as a composition? That's quite nice. Can I add anything to it? Can I add a little bit of text? Do I want that to poke out? Maybe and have that dark?
I think I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to attach that. Do I like it where it is now? Do I want it to go a little bit lower? How does that look as a composition? I think right there looks good. Let's glue this on. And I'm just going to put this here. And so when I'm doing this, I'm checking to see what it looks like on the pages, what it looks like on the different pages. Let's get this one. This is a little trapped black area, but when you see it extended, it has a reason. I like that little one. I may add some little more black in here. So there's actually a rhythm with the black. I think it needs a little bit here. Rhythm happening here. I like the texture on the back panel. And I can keep adding more elements to this. I can just paint them on. Does this need a little bit of a line? Now, these are all vertical. I think I want something horizontal. This lines up with that. Do I want it a little different? I think I want it a bit different. That can work better as that. Now I like these little dots in here. I would love to now start a process of the elements coming across the whole thing, but they still are their own individual composition on the page. For example, this mark coming up. Can I do a line that comes up here? And immediately, this looks like a composition in itself, just by adding that little part in there. Also, these little dots, can they happen elsewhere? Could they be, this is the start of a dot. So could I put, for example, just some dots on a page? And if I were to not the same? What if I blurred it a little bit? Maybe, maybe not. But I like what's happening with the repetition, as far as there's some dots happening here, there's some here. Love this little line that comes over. This one could have a white line coming over, so at least it connects. And this might have some gradation. I like this actually as a layer over top. And this one, if this was just composition, it's not bad as far as large area, smaller area, very tiny area. I feel like I want a little bit of that gray color maybe happening elsewhere. And maybe it is just, here's that same painting. So if I had it, Can I add a little bit in here? Would that make it? I think I like just the gray. And if I like just the gray, what if I just followed this line and did a curve? That lines up a little bit too much. What if it's on the gray? What if it's just a little part? And if this part came over into this section, then I'd start to get some gray happening here. Looks a little bit lost there when I look at it. What happens if I were to add to this part? Does it work? Maybe add one more little strip, see what it looks like. And this is the beauty of using collage for compositions, because you can decide what works. Because I can always pull these things off, or I can paint over them. Maybe it needs a torn edge on this. Torn edge with the white showing. Now, that's quite interesting because this is white. If it went off the page. Could the white then continue on in another line over here? Maybe. Maybe this is not as harsh of a line. If I had a black piece, that may be nice. If this is just looking, it might be nice to have a little bit of black happening on an edge. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, it doesn't tear as much as I thought it would, but that could work. Maybe it's a little bit more at the bottom. Tear that off. And then if I had that torn edge, I like this torn edge to go with it. And should it replace that? If I were to look at this, yes, I think it should replace it. Let's take this off. Let's put this one on instead. These two little ones may stay. Maybe just one We'll decide on that. I like what's happening here. I like this black that pops here. This one could use some work as far as something happening there. Maybe it's just the white is coming a little bit over again on here. So if I did that, I could put it on with just a little squeeze bottle, or I could have put it on, maybe what I'll try, if I was thinking this would come over, do I want another curve on here? I couldn't, because this panel has curves, this one has curves, this one doesn't yet. I do like them. What if it was in a curve with lines, and these lines started to come over onto this section? Now, if that's a composition that has interest happening, this, I want it to have a little bit more of this color happening in here, and it may even be a little bit of paint that's happening there. I could use pastel, I could use paint. I'm going to use a little bit of paint, see what happens. Bring it into this. Is it too much? Use a little bit of pastel on here. See if I can get this line to come up a little bit more, almost like it's following this, repeating this. And what does that look like? If that's, so that's starting to work and be more cohesive as far as the story happening along here. It's still all right as a composition. This one needs a little help as on a composition. I think it just needs something else, and it might have to do with this line. So that's it for now. Shows you how I start and how I'm starting to do the elements. And if you like what I'm showing, please give me a like and subscribe. And also go to my website, because you can join and have a free workshop.